Jack, a solitary fisherman, spent his days by the tranquil pond, his weathered hands expertly casting the line. Each ripple in the water mirrored the ripples in his heart, which longed for his daughter, Emily. She had disappeared years ago, leaving behind a void that time couldn't fill. Jack's routine was his solace, a way to cope with the endless ache of her absence. The pond became his confidant, silently listening to his whispers of hope and sorrow. Every morning, Jack woke before dawn, the silence of his modest cabin only broken by the distant calls of birds. He'd prepare his fishing gear with meticulous care, each knot and hook a small act of reverence. As he walked to the pond, the rising sun painted the sky in hues of orange and pink, a stark contrast to the grayness he felt inside. This ritual had become a part of him, a thread woven into the fabric of his existence. Jack's thoughts were a constant dialogue with Emily. He remembered her laughter, the way it echoed through the house, and her bright eyes that held so much curiosity. These memories were both a comfort and a torment, a bittersweet reminder of what he had lost. At the pond, he would often find himself speaking aloud to her, as if the gentle breeze could carry his words to wherever she might be. It was his way of keeping her spirit alive. The pond, with its serene beauty, was Jack's sanctuary. The water's surface was a canvas of reflections, and on it, he saw fleeting images of Emily as a child, playing by the water's edge. These visions were figments of his longing, but they felt real enough to touch. The pond held secrets, much like Jack's heart, and he often wondered if it knew something he didn't. It was a silent partner in his endless vigil. Fishing had always been a shared passion between Jack and Emily. She'd sit beside him, her small hands eager to learn the craft. Those moments were etched in his memory, providing a temporary escape from his grief. The act of fishing became more than a hobby. It was a connection to Emily, a way to feel close to her despite the years of separation. Each catch was a tribute to their bond, a small victory against the sadness. Jack's isolation was self-imposed, a shield against the pain of unanswered questions. Neighbors had tried to reach out, but he preferred the company of the pond and its silent understanding. He'd become a fixture in the community, the quiet man with the sorrowful eyes. Yet, beneath his stoic exterior, Jack nurtured a fragile hope. Every day by the pond was a testament to his unwavering love for Emily, a silent prayer for her return. As seasons changed, the pond reflected the passage of time. Spring brought new life, while winter cloaked it in stillness. Jack witnessed it all, his heart in sync with the pond's rhythm. Each season held memories of Emily, their time together frozen in his mind. The first snowfall, her birthday, the day she vanished, all marked by the pond's changing face. It was a place of remembrance, where past and present intertwined. Jack's connection to the pond was more than physical. It was spiritual. He believed that if he stayed faithful to this place, some divine intervention might bring Emily back. His days were a blend of hope and despair, each casting of the line a plea to the universe. He'd look into the water, seeing not just his reflection but the depths of his longing. The pond was a mirror to his soul, reflecting both the beauty and the pain within. In the quiet moments, Jack allowed himself to dream. He imagined Emily's return, the embrace they'd share, the tears of joy and relief. These dreams were a lifeline, keeping him anchored in a world that had lost its color. The pond was the stage for these reveries, its calm surface a canvas for his hopes. Jack's life was a blend of reality and dreams, with the pond as the constant backdrop to his heart's desires. Evenings at the pond were Jack's time for reflection. The setting sun cast long shadows, and the water glowed with the last light of day. Jack would sit on the old wooden bench, lost in thought. The pond's tranquility provided a stark contrast to the turmoil within him. It was during these moments that Jack felt Emily's presence the most, as if she were sitting beside him, sharing the silence. These evenings were sacred, a time to connect with his deepest feelings. Jack's routine was a form of meditation, a way to keep the chaos at bay. The pond's stillness was his sanctuary, a place where he could find some measure of peace. His thoughts would drift, carried by the gentle lapping of the water. He'd remember Emily's smile, her voice, and the way she brought light into his life. The pond was a repository of memories, each ripple a reminder of the love that still bound them together. As Jack sat by the pond, he couldn't help but wonder about Emily's fate. Was she somewhere out there, thinking of him? The uncertainty was a constant ache, a wound that refused to heal. Yet, he clung to the belief that one day, fate would bring them together again. The pond, with its secrets and its whispers, held a promise of hope. Jack's heart beat with the rhythm of the water, each pulse a silent vow to never give up. And so, Jack's days flowed like the pond's gentle current, steady and unchanging. His life was a tapestry of moments, woven with threads of love and loss. The pond was both a witness and a participant in his journey, a silent partner in his quest for closure. As the sun set on another day, Jack's heart remained steadfast, filled with an unwavering hope. The pond, ever faithful, mirrored his resolve, holding within its depths the promise of a reunion. On a serene morning, Jack sat by the pond, the mist rising gently off the water. The tranquility was suddenly shattered by desperate cries for help. Jack's heart raced as he scanned the area, spotting a small figure thrashing in the water. Without hesitation, he abandoned his fishing gear and dove in, his instincts as sharp as ever. The cold water shocked his system, but his determination was unyielding. He swam with purpose, his eyes locked on the struggling child. The distance to the child seemed to stretch forever, but Jack's strokes were powerful and swift. As he reached the boy, he could see the panic in his eyes, his tiny hands clawing at the water. Jack grasped the child firmly, pulling him close. "I've got you, kid," he murmured. His voice calm despite the adrenaline surging through him. The boy's frantic movements slowed as he clung to Jack, trusting this stranger to save him from the depths. The journey back to shore was arduous, every stroke a battle against the weight of the water and the fear that gripped them both. Jack's muscles burned, but he pressed on, driven by an unspoken promise to keep the child safe. The boy's grip tightened around Jack's neck, a lifeline in the midst of chaos. Jack's mind raced with memories of Emily, fueling his resolve to see this rescue through. The shore, a distant goal, drew closer with each determined stroke. As Jack emerged from the water, the boy still clutched in his arms. He could feel the weight of the world lifting. He laid the child gently on the grassy bank, his breath coming in ragged gasps. The boy's eyes, wide with fear, locked onto Jack's. "You're safe now," Jack assured him, his voice a soothing balm. He checked the boy for injuries, his hands trembling with residual adrenaline. Relief washed over him as he confirmed the child was unharmed. The boy's breathing steadied, his chest rising and falling in rhythm with Jack's own. The crisis had passed, but the emotional toll lingered. Jack sat beside the boy, offering silent comfort through his presence. The pond, once a symbol of solace, had become a stage for this dramatic encounter. Jack's mind was a whirlwind of thoughts, his heart pounding with the remnants of fear and relief. He had saved the boy, but the questions lingered. Who was he, and how did he end up in the water? As the boy calmed, Jack's eyes were drawn to a glint of metal around his neck. A simple silver chain with a pendant dangled there, catching the morning light. Jack's breath caught in his throat as recognition dawned. The pendant was identical to the one Emily had worn the day she disappeared. His heart raced anew, a mix of hope and disbelief. He reached out, his fingers brushing the cold metal. "Where did you get this?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. The boy looked up, confusion mingling with the remnants of fear in his eyes. "It was a gift," he replied, his voice small and uncertain. Jack's mind raced, connecting dots that seemed impossible. The pendant, once a cherished possession of his lost daughter, now hung around the neck of this boy he had just saved. The implications were staggering, filling him with a renewed sense of purpose. The rescue had been more than a mere act of heroism. It was a sign, a clue that might lead him to Emily. Jack's thoughts were a turbulent sea of emotions as he tried to piece together the mystery. The pendant was a lifeline, a tangible link to his past, and a possible key to his future. He looked at the boy, seeing not just a child but a beacon of hope. The boy's presence, so unexpected and miraculous, reignited a spark within Jack. He needed to know more, to uncover the truth behind this serendipitous encounter. The boy held answers, and Jack was determined to find them. As they sat by the pond, the sun climbing higher in the sky, Jack felt the weight of destiny pressing upon him. This boy, this moment, was a turning point. He couldn't ignore the signs, the whispers of fate that had brought them together. Jack's mind whirred with possibilities, each more compelling than the last. The pond, once a place of solitude, had become a nexus of hope and revelation. Jack knew he had to act, to follow the threads of this mystery wherever they led. The boy's trust in Jack was evident, his eyes reflecting a mix of gratitude and curiosity. Jack's heart swelled with a protective instinct, a desire to shield this child from further harm. He asked the boy his name, learning it was Sam. The name was unfamiliar, but it didn't matter. What mattered was the pendant, the link to Emily. Jack's resolve hardened. He would get to the bottom of this, uncover the story behind Sam and the pendant. The answers were out there, waiting to be discovered. Jack and Sam walked back to the cabin, the boy's small hand nestled in Jack's larger one. The weight of the pendant around Sam's neck was a constant reminder of the journey ahead. Jack's mind raced with questions, his heart buoyed by a newfound hope. This rescue, unexpected and dramatic, was the beginning of something greater. Jack couldn't shake the feeling that he was on the brink of a discovery that would change everything. The pond, the pendant, the boy, they were all pieces of a puzzle he was determined to solve. The cabin, once a place of isolation, now felt like a haven of possibilities. Jack made Sam comfortable, offering him warm clothes and a hot drink. As Sam settled in, Jack's mind was already formulating a plan. He needed to talk to Sam, to understand where he had come from and how he had come to possess Emily's pendant. The rescue had set a chain of events in motion, and Jack was ready to follow it to its conclusion. The future, uncertain yet promising, stretched out before him. Jack's heart beat with a renewed vigor as he prepared to uncover the truth. The rescue had been the catalyst, the spark that reignited his hope. Jack looked at Sam, seeing not just a boy, but a link to his past and a beacon for his future. The pond, the pendant, the rescue. They were all threads in a tapestry of destiny. Jack knew that the journey ahead would be challenging, but he was ready. With Sam by his side, he would face whatever came next. As Jack carried Sam toward the shore, his mind was a whirlpool of thoughts. The pendant glinted in the sunlight, a hauntingly familiar sight that stirred memories he'd tried to keep at bay. The water dripped from their bodies, each droplet like a heartbeat, echoing the turmoil inside Jack. The sight of the pendant had struck him like a bolt of lightning, and he couldn't shake the feeling that it was more than a mere coincidence. Reaching the shore, Jack gently set Sam down, his eyes never leaving the pendant. It was exactly as he remembered, a simple silver locket with delicate engravings. Jack's hands trembled as he reached out, his fingers brushing the cool metal. It was impossible to ignore the flood of emotions crashing over him. "Where did you get this?" Jack asked, his voice cracking with a mix of hope and fear. Sam looked up, confusion written on his face. Sam hesitated, his small hands clutching the locket protectively. "It was a gift," he finally said, his voice barely audible. Jack's heart pounded in his chest, each beat a painful reminder of the day Emily had disappeared. The pendant had been a gift to her on her 8th birthday, a keepsake to treasure. Seeing it now, around the neck of a boy he had just saved, felt like a twist of fate. Jack knew he had to learn more about Sam and his connection to the pendant. As the sun climbed higher, Jack and Sam sat by the pond, the tension between them palpable. Jack's mind raced with questions, each one more pressing than the last. He needed to know everything about Sam, where he came from, who had given him the pendant, and how it had ended up in his possession. The locket was a lifeline, a clue that might lead him to Emily. Jack's eyes bore into Sam's, silently urging him to reveal more. Sam's story began to unfold, each word a piece of a complex puzzle. He explained that the pendant had been with him for as long as he could remember, a constant companion. It had been a gift from the woman who had taken him in, a kind soul who found him wandering alone. Jack listened intently, his heart aching with a mix of sorrow and hope. The pieces were starting to fit together, but there were still so many unanswered questions. Jack's mind was a whirlwind of thoughts as he processed Sam's story. The locket, a symbol of love and loss, was a tangible connection to his daughter. It was more than just a piece of jewelry. It was a beacon, guiding him toward the truth. Jack's heart swelled with a renewed sense of purpose. He had to find out more about the woman who had given Sam the pendant and how she had come into possession of such a precious item. As Sam spoke, Jack couldn't help but notice the striking resemblance between the boy and his own memories of Emily. It was in the way Sam tilted his head when he spoke, the light in his eyes when he smiled. Jack's heart ached with a longing he had almost forgotten. Each detail of Sam's story brought him closer to the truth, and he couldn't shake the feeling that he was on the brink of a revelation that would change everything. The day wore on, and Jack's resolve only grew stronger. He needed to dig deeper, to uncover the full story behind the pendant and Sam's past. The connection between the locket and his lost daughter was too strong to ignore. Jack's mind raced with possibilities, each one more tantalizing than the last. The pond, which had once been a place of solace and reflection, was now the epicenter of a mystery he was determined to solve. Jack's heart pounded with a mix of anticipation and dread as he contemplated his next steps. The pendant had reignited a spark of hope within him, a burning desire to uncover the truth. He knew that the journey ahead would be fraught with challenges, but he was ready to face them. With Sam by his side, Jack felt a renewed sense of purpose. Together, they would piece together the puzzle of the pendant and find the answers they both sought. The connection between Jack and Sam deepened with each passing moment. The boy's presence was a constant reminder of the past, a link to the daughter he had lost. Jack's heart swelled with a mix of love and determination. He vowed to protect Sam and uncover the truth behind the pendant, no matter what it took. The journey ahead was uncertain, but Jack felt a renewed sense of hope. He would find the answers he sought, and perhaps find a way to heal his wounded heart. Jack and Sam spent the evening at the cabin, the pendant a constant reminder of the journey ahead. Jack's mind was a whirlwind of thoughts, each one leading him closer to the truth. He knew that the answers were within reach, and he was determined to find them. The pendant, a symbol of love and loss, had become a beacon of hope. Jack's heart swelled with a renewed sense of purpose. He would uncover the truth and find a way to bring his family back together. As the night wore on, Jack couldn't shake the feeling that he was on the brink of a major discovery. The pendant had reignited a spark of hope within him, a burning desire to uncover the truth. He knew that the journey ahead would be challenging, but he was ready to face it. With Sam by his side, Jack felt a renewed sense of purpose. Together, they would piece together the puzzle of the pendant and find the answers they both sought. Jack's heart pounded with anticipation as he contemplated his next steps. The pendant had become a symbol of hope, a beacon guiding him toward the truth. He knew that the journey ahead would be fraught with challenges, but he was ready to face them. With Sam by his side, Jack felt a renewed sense of purpose. Together, they would uncover the truth behind the pendant and find a way to heal their wounded hearts. The connection between Jack and Sam deepened with each passing moment. The boy's presence was a constant reminder of the past, a link to the daughter he had lost. Jack's heart swelled with a mix of love and determination. He vowed to protect Sam and uncover the truth behind the pendant, no matter what it took. The journey ahead was uncertain, but Jack felt a renewed sense of hope. He would find the answers he sought, and perhaps find a way to bring his family back together. As the sun set on another day, Jack's heart was filled with a renewed sense of hope. The pendant had become a beacon, guiding him toward the truth. He knew that the journey ahead would be challenging, but he was ready to face it. With Sam by his side, Jack felt a renewed sense of purpose. Together, they would uncover the truth behind the pendant and find a way to heal their wounded hearts. Jack's mind buzzed with anticipation as he sat across from Sam, the pendant glinting in the soft light of the cabin. Determined to uncover the truth, he gently probed Sam for details. "Can you tell me more about the woman who gave you this pendant?" he asked, his voice steady but filled with an underlying urgency. Sam looked up, his eyes wide with innocence and a flicker of curiosity, as if sensing the importance of his words. Sam's recollection was fragmented, but each piece was crucial. "Her name is Mrs. Thompson," he began hesitantly, his small fingers tracing the edges of the locket. "She found me when I was really little. She said I was alone and that I didn't have anyone." Jack's heart ached at the thought of his daughter being found like that, abandoned and alone. He listened intently, his mind piecing together the fragments of a story that felt all too familiar. Determined to follow this new lead, Jack decided to visit Mrs. Thompson. The next morning, with Sam by his side, they embarked on a journey to the neighboring town where she lived. The drive was quiet, the road ahead a symbol of the uncertain path they were treading. Jack's mind raced with questions. How had Mrs. Thompson come to find Sam? And more importantly, how did she come into possession of Emily's pendant? Each question felt like a step closer to the truth. The town was small and unassuming, much like Jack's own. Mrs. Thompson's house stood at the end of a quiet street, its garden neatly tended. Jack's heart pounded as they approached, a mix of hope and dread. He knocked on the door, each tap echoing the urgency of his quest. When Mrs. Thompson answered, her kind eyes widened in surprise at the sight of Sam and the determined man beside him. Jack introduced himself, explaining the reason for their visit. Inside, the house was warm and inviting, filled with the scent of freshly baked cookies. Mrs. Thompson invited them to sit, her curiosity evident. Jack wasted no time, diving into his questions. "Mrs. Thompson, Sam mentioned that you found him alone. Can you tell me more about that day?" Her eyes softened with remembrance as she recounted finding a young boy wandering near the edge of town. She had taken him in, offering him a home and the pendant as a token of safety and love. Jack listened, his heart heavy with each word. Mrs. Thompson explained how she had found the pendant with the boy, assuming it was his. Jack's mind whirred, the pieces of the puzzle falling into place. The pendant had always been with Sam, a silent witness to his past. Jack's hopes surged, mixed with an intense longing to uncover the full story. He thanked Mrs. Thompson for her kindness and care, knowing that her actions had given him a new direction in his search for Emily. Leaving Mrs. Thompson's house, Jack felt a renewed sense of purpose. The visit had provided more questions than answers, but it was a step forward. Sam held the pendant tightly, a tangible connection to his mysterious past. Jack's heart swelled with determination. He needed to dig deeper, to find out how the pendant had come to be with Sam. The journey was far from over, but Jack felt the first stirrings of hope, a light breaking through the darkness. Back at the cabin, Jack delved into old records and news clippings, searching for any mention of Emily or children found in the area. Days turned into nights as he pored over the documents, his eyes scanning each page with relentless focus. Sam watched, a silent partner in Jack's quest. The bond between them grew stronger, their shared mission forging a connection deeper than blood. Jack's heart ached with hope and fear, each discovery a step closer to the truth. Jack's investigation led him to local authorities, where he recounted his story and the discovery of the pendant. The officers listened, their expressions a mix of skepticism and intrigue. Jack's persistence paid off when one officer mentioned a case file of a missing girl found years ago, matching Emily's description. Jack's heart pounded as he read through the file, his eyes welling with tears. It was a breakthrough, a glimmer of hope in the long, dark journey. With the file in hand, Jack felt a surge of determination. He shared the news with Sam, who listened with wide-eyed wonder. Together, they pieced together the timeline, each detail bringing them closer to the truth. Jack's heart swelled with a mixture of hope and fear, knowing that the next steps could lead to the answers he had been seeking for so long. The journey ahead was uncertain, but Jack was ready to face it with Sam by his side. The investigation took Jack and Sam to the orphanage where Emily had been placed after being found. The building, though aged, stood as a beacon of hope. Inside, Jack spoke with the staff, their stories intertwining with his own. They confirmed that Emily, under a different name, had been placed with a family years ago. Jack's heart pounded with each revelation, the pieces of the puzzle falling into place. He was closer than ever to finding Emily. Jack's resolve only grew stronger with each discovery. He contacted the family who had adopted Emily, his heart racing with anticipation. They arranged a meeting, and Jack felt a mixture of hope and dread as the day approached. The pendant, the investigation, and the journey had led him to this moment. Jack's heart swelled with a mixture of fear and excitement, knowing that the truth was within reach. He was ready to face whatever came next. As Jack and Sam arrived at the family's home, Jack's heart pounded with anticipation. He introduced himself, explaining his quest and the discovery of the pendant. The family listened, their expressions a mix of shock and understanding. They shared their own story, confirming that the girl they had adopted was indeed Emily. Jack's heart swelled with a mix of relief and joy. The investigation had led him to the truth, but the journey was far from over. The revelation was bittersweet, filling Jack with both joy and sorrow. He had found Emily, but the years of separation had taken their toll. He looked at Sam, feeling an unspoken bond between them. The investigation had brought them together, forging a connection deeper than blood. Jack's heart swelled with a renewed sense of purpose. The journey ahead would be challenging, but he was ready to face it with Sam and Emily by his side. Jack's heart raced as he absorbed the revelation. Emily, now known as Sam, had been living with an adoptive family who found her abandoned years ago. This revelation brought a complex mix of emotions: relief, joy, and a lingering sadness for the lost time. Jack looked at Sam, the boy who had become a beacon of hope and connection to his past. The pieces of the puzzle were starting to fit, but there was still much to uncover about Sam's past. Jack's determination only grew stronger as he sat with Sam, listening to the boy's fragmented memories. Sam spoke of his life with the adoptive family, his words painting a picture of a loving, albeit mysterious, childhood. Jack's heart ached with every detail, knowing that Emily had lived those years without him. Sam's recollections were filled with moments of warmth and care, but also a sense of confusion about his origins. Jack vowed to fill in the gaps and bring clarity to Sam's past. With the help of the adoptive family, Jack pieced together the story of how they found Sam. They had discovered him wandering alone near the edge of town, clutching the pendant tightly. The family, unable to trace his origins, had taken him in and raised him as their own. Jack listened, his heart swelling with gratitude for their kindness, but also a burning desire to understand how Emily had ended up in such a situation. The mystery deepened, and Jack's resolve to uncover the truth intensified. Jack's conversations with the adoptive family revealed more about Sam's early years. They described a child who was initially withdrawn, haunted by shadows of a past he couldn't fully remember. Over time, with their love and support, Sam had blossomed into a happy, curious boy. Jack's heart swelled with a mix of pride and sorrow. Emily had shown resilience and strength, qualities he had always admired in her. Jack felt a renewed sense of urgency to piece together the fragmented story of her past. The adoptive family shared photos and stories of Sam's early years, each one a glimpse into a life Jack had missed. As he flipped through the photo albums, Jack's eyes welled with tears. The images showed a smiling child, surrounded by love, but there was an underlying sense of longing in those eyes, a search for something or someone. Jack's heart ached with the realization that Emily had lived those years not knowing her true identity. He vowed to make up for lost time and bring her fully into the life she deserved. Jack's investigation took him to the orphanage where Sam had been placed after being found. The building, though old, stood as a testament to the care and hope it provided to countless children. Inside, Jack spoke with the staff, their stories intertwining with his own. They confirmed that Sam, known by a different name, had been placed with the adoptive family years ago. Jack's heart pounded with each revelation, the pieces of the puzzle falling into place. He was closer than ever to understanding Sam's past. The orphanage staff provided Jack with records that detailed Sam's time with them. The documents painted a picture of a child who had arrived scared and confused, but who had gradually opened up thanks to the staff's kindness. Jack read through the files, each word deepening his resolve to uncover the full story. The records mentioned the pendant, a constant companion for Sam, and Jack couldn't shake the feeling that it held the key to understanding everything. The journey was far from over, but Jack felt a renewed sense of hope. With every new detail, Jack felt a stronger connection to Sam. The boy's past, though filled with uncertainty, was becoming clearer. Jack's heart swelled with a mix of emotions: relief at finding his daughter, sorrow for the years lost, and a burning desire to forge a future filled with love and understanding. He knew that the road ahead would be challenging, but he was ready to face it with Sam by his side. Together, they would unravel the mystery of Sam's past and build a future grounded in truth and love. The next step in Jack's investigation led him to the local authorities. He recounted his story, sharing the discovery of the pendant and the journey that had brought him to this point. The officers listened, their expressions a mix of skepticism and intrigue. Jack's persistence paid off when one officer mentioned a case file of a missing girl found years ago, matching Emily's description. Jack's heart pounded as he read through the file, his eyes welling with tears. It was a breakthrough, a glimmer of hope in the long, dark journey. Armed with this new information, Jack reached out to the family who had adopted Emily. They arranged a meeting, and Jack felt a mixture of hope and dread as the day approached. The pendant, the investigation, and the journey had led him to this moment. Jack's heart swelled with a mixture of fear and excitement, knowing that the truth was within reach. He was ready to face whatever came next. The future, uncertain yet promising, stretched out before him. The meeting with the adoptive family was emotional, filled with tears and heartfelt conversations. They shared their experiences of raising Emily, describing her as a bright, spirited child who had brought immense joy into their lives. Jack listened, his heart swelling with gratitude and love. He shared his own stories, painting a picture of the life he had hoped to give Emily. The room was filled with a sense of connection and understanding, a shared commitment to Emily's well-being and happiness. Jack and the adoptive family worked together to piece together the remaining fragments of Emily's past. Their combined efforts revealed a story of resilience and hope, a journey marked by love and loss, but also by an unbreakable bond. Jack's heart swelled with a renewed sense of purpose. He had found Emily, and now it was time to build a future together. The past, though filled with pain, had led them to this moment of reunion. Jack was ready to face the future with Emily and Sam by his side. As Jack stood with Sam and the adoptive family, his heart filled with hope and gratitude. The journey had been long and challenging, but it had brought them to this moment of reunion and understanding. Jack looked at Sam, the boy who had become a beacon of hope and connection to his past, and felt a sense of peace. Together, they had uncovered the truth and built a foundation for the future. The road ahead was still uncertain, but Jack was ready to face it with love and determination. Jack's heart pounded as he sat with the adoptive family, their shared stories weaving a tapestry of love, loss, and hope. The pieces of Emily's past were finally coming together, each revelation a step closer to the truth. The adoptive parents, kind and understanding, listened intently as Jack recounted his journey. Their eyes filled with tears as they realized the profound connection between Jack and Emily. It was clear that fate had brought them all together for a reason. The atmosphere in the room was charged with emotion. Jack's voice trembled as he spoke of the pendant, a symbol of his unending love for Emily. The adoptive mother reached out, her hand trembling as she touched the locket around Sam's neck. "We always wondered about this pendant," she said softly. It felt like it held a piece of his past. Jack nodded, his eyes moist with unshed tears. The pendant was more than just a piece of jewelry. It was a link to Emily's true identity. The adoptive father, a gentle man with kind eyes, shared their story of finding Emily, whom they named Sam. He described the day they discovered her, lost and alone, and their decision to give her a loving home. Jack's heart ached with gratitude for their kindness, but also with a longing for the years he had missed. The adoptive parents had given Emily a new life, and Jack was determined to honor their efforts while reclaiming his role in her world. As the conversation deepened, the adoptive parents revealed a crucial piece of information. They had kept records of Emily's arrival, including a few clues that might help Jack understand how she ended up with them. Jack's pulse quickened as they handed him a folder filled with documents. His hands shook as he opened it, each page revealing fragments of Emily's journey. It was a bittersweet moment, knowing that these papers held the key to the mystery that had haunted him for years. Among the documents, Jack found a report from the authorities detailing the circumstances under which Emily was found. She had been wandering near a park, disoriented and unable to explain how she got there. The report mentioned a possible abduction, but the trail had gone cold. Jack's mind raced as he absorbed the information. The pendant, the abduction, the years of separation. It all pointed to a dark chapter in Emily's past that needed to be uncovered. Determined to get to the bottom of the mystery, Jack reached out to the authorities, armed with the new information. The officers were intrigued by his findings and agreed to reopen the case. Jack's heart swelled with hope as they delved into old files, looking for any clues that might have been missed. The investigation took on a new urgency, each step bringing them closer to the truth. Jack's determination was unwavering. He would stop at nothing to bring justice to Emily and reunite their family. The breakthrough came when an officer uncovered a report about a suspected child trafficking ring operating in the area around the time Emily disappeared. The details were chilling, but they provided the missing link Jack had been searching for. The authorities followed the leads, uncovering a network that had been responsible for several abductions. Jack's heart pounded with a mix of fear and relief. The darkness that had stolen Emily from him was being brought to light. As the investigation progressed, Jack and the authorities worked tirelessly to piece together the puzzle. They discovered that Emily had been taken and later abandoned by the traffickers, who feared getting caught. The pendant had been left with her as a cruel reminder of the life she was torn from. Jack's heart ached for the trauma Emily had endured, but he felt a surge of gratitude for the people who had found and cared for her. The adoptive family had been a beacon of hope in her darkest hours. The authorities coordinated with Jack to arrange a meeting with the individuals responsible for Emily's abduction. The confrontation was tense, filled with anger and sorrow. Jack's voice trembled with emotion as he demanded answers, his eyes burning with determination. The traffickers revealed details of their operations, confirming the timeline of Emily's abduction and abandonment. It was a moment of catharsis for Jack, a painful but necessary step toward healing. With the truth finally uncovered, Jack turned his focus to Emily's future. He knew that rebuilding their relationship would take time and patience, but he was ready for the challenge. The adoptive family stood by his side, offering their support and understanding. Together, they formed a united front, committed to giving Emily the love and stability she deserved. Jack's heart swelled with gratitude for their kindness and compassion. The journey had been long and arduous, but the future looked promising. Jack and Sam, Emily, spent hours talking, sharing stories of their past and dreams for the future. Jack marveled at the resilience and strength his daughter had shown throughout her ordeal. Emily's eyes sparkled with hope and curiosity, a testament to the love and care she had received from her adoptive family. Jack vowed to be the father she needed, to support and cherish her as they moved forward. The revelation of the mystery had brought them together, and now they were ready to face the future with hope and determination. The final piece of the puzzle fell into place when the authorities confirmed the closure of the trafficking ring. The people responsible were brought to justice, ensuring that no other families would suffer as Jack's had. It was a moment of triumph and relief, a victory hard won. Jack's heart swelled with pride and gratitude for everyone who had helped uncover the truth. The darkness that had overshadowed their lives was finally dispelled, replaced by the promise of a brighter future. As Jack looked at Emily, he felt an overwhelming sense of peace. The journey to uncover the mystery had been fraught with pain and uncertainty, but it had also brought them closer together. Jack's heart swelled with love and hope, knowing that they had overcome the odds to find each other. The past, though filled with sorrow, had led them to this moment of reunion and understanding. Jack was ready to face the future with Emily and Sam by his side, their hearts bound by a love that transcended time and distance. Jack's heart raced as he stood outside the modest house, his hands trembling with anticipation. The journey had been long and arduous, filled with twists and turns, but it had all led to this moment. He glanced down at Sam, whose eyes mirrored the same mixture of hope and uncertainty. Together, they took a deep breath and knocked on the door. Each second felt like an eternity as they waited, the air heavy with expectation and longing. The door opened to reveal a woman with kind eyes and a warm smile. She was the adoptive mother who had cared for Emily, now known as Sam, for so many years. Jack's eyes welled up with tears as he introduced himself, his voice trembling with emotion. The woman welcomed them inside, her own eyes shining with understanding and compassion. Jack felt a surge of gratitude for her kindness and the love she had given Emily in his absence. Inside the house, Jack's eyes were immediately drawn to a small figure sitting on the couch. Emily looked up, her eyes wide with a mixture of curiosity and recognition. Jack's heart pounded as he took a step forward, his emotions threatening to overwhelm him. "Emily," he whispered, his voice thick with tears. The girl nodded slowly, her eyes filling with tears of her own. In that moment, the years of separation melted away, leaving only the profound bond between a father and his daughter. Jack knelt down, his arms open wide, and Emily ran into his embrace. They clung to each other, their tears mingling as they wept for the lost years and the joy of being reunited. Jack's heart felt like it might burst with the intensity of his emotions. He whispered words of love and reassurance, his voice breaking with the weight of his feelings. "I've missed you so much," he said, his tears falling freely. Emily clung to him, her small body trembling with the force of her own emotions. The adoptive family watched with tears in their eyes, moved by the raw emotion of the reunion. They had always known that one day Emily's past might catch up with her, and now that moment had arrived. Jack thanked them profusely for the love and care they had given his daughter, his gratitude overflowing. They assured him that it had been their privilege to care for her, and they expressed their own happiness at seeing the family reunited. Jack's heart swelled with appreciation for their kindness and support. The reunion was filled with moments of quiet reflection and shared stories. Jack and Emily sat together, their hands intertwined, as they talked about their lives. Jack shared memories of her childhood, painting vivid pictures of the life they had shared before she was taken. Emily listened intently, her eyes shining with tears and understanding. She spoke of her life with the adoptive family, the love and stability they had provided. Each word brought them closer, healing the wounds of the past. As the hours passed, Jack felt a sense of peace he hadn't known in years. The journey to find Emily had been fraught with challenges, but it had also brought them to this moment of profound connection. He marveled at her resilience and strength, qualities she had shown throughout her ordeal. Jack's heart swelled with pride and love for his daughter, knowing that they had overcome unimaginable odds to find each other. The reunion was a testament to their unbreakable bond and the power of love. The adoptive family offered their continued support, understanding that the transition would be difficult for Emily. They reassured Jack that they would always be there for her, providing a safety net of love and stability. Jack was deeply moved by their generosity and compassion. He knew that Emily's journey was far from over, but with the support of both families, she would have the strength to face whatever came next. The future was uncertain, but it was filled with promise and hope. Jack and Emily spent the evening talking late into the night, their hearts overflowing with love and gratitude. Jack marveled at the young woman Emily had become, her strength and wisdom shining through every word. He shared his hopes and dreams for their future, painting a picture of the life they would build together. Emily listened, her eyes filled with hope and excitement. They were finally together, ready to face the future hand in hand. As the night drew to a close, Jack felt a profound sense of peace. The journey to find Emily had been long and difficult, but it had led to this moment of reunion and understanding. He knew that there would be challenges ahead, but with Emily by his side, he was ready to face them. Jack's heart swelled with love and gratitude for the adoptive family who had cared for his daughter and for the miracle of their reunion. The future was bright, filled with promise and hope. In the days that followed, Jack and Emily began the process of rebuilding their relationship. They spent hours talking, sharing their dreams and aspirations. Jack marveled at Emily's resilience and strength, qualities she had shown throughout her ordeal. Together, they navigated the complexities of their new reality, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. Jack's heart swelled with pride and love for his daughter, knowing that they had overcome unimaginable odds to find each other. The emotional reunion marked the beginning of a new chapter in their lives. Jack and Emily faced the future with hope and determination, their hearts bound by an unbreakable bond. The past, though filled with pain, had led them to this moment of profound connection. Jack was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, confident that their love would guide them through. The future was uncertain, but it was filled with promise and hope, a testament to the power of love and resilience. As Jack and Emily stood together, their hearts overflowing with love and gratitude, they knew that they were ready to face the future. The emotional reunion had brought them closer than ever, healing the wounds of the past and filling their hearts with hope. Jack's heart swelled with pride and love for his daughter, knowing that they had overcome unimaginable odds to find each other. The future was bright, filled with promise and hope, a testament to the power of love and resilience. The first light of dawn filtered through the curtains, casting a warm glow on the room. Jack awoke with a sense of peace he hadn't felt in years. Beside him, Emily slept soundly, her face serene and free from worry. The emotional reunion had been a balm for their wounded hearts, and now they stood on the threshold of a new beginning. Jack's heart swelled with gratitude and love as he watched his daughter, knowing that they had been given a second chance. The days that followed were filled with moments of joy and discovery. Jack and Emily spent hours exploring their shared interests and reconnecting over the little things. They took long walks by the pond, the place that had been both a sanctuary and a reminder of their separation. Now, it symbolized their reunion and the fresh start they were embarking on. Each step they took together was a testament to their resilience and the unbreakable bond they shared. Jack marveled at Emily's strength and wisdom. Despite the hardships she had faced, she remained hopeful and determined to embrace their new life. They talked about their dreams and aspirations, painting a vivid picture of the future they would build together. Jack encouraged Emily to pursue her passions, promising to support her every step of the way. The bond between them grew stronger with each passing day, their love a guiding light in the journey ahead. The support from the adoptive family continued to be a pillar of strength for Jack and Emily. They welcomed the opportunity to remain a part of Emily's life, offering guidance and love as she navigated this transition. Jack felt a deep sense of gratitude for their kindness and understanding. Together, they formed a united front, committed to ensuring Emily's happiness and well-being. The future was uncertain, but with such a strong support system, Jack knew they could face anything. Jack's cabin, once a place of solitude, now buzzed with life and laughter. Emily's presence filled the space with warmth and joy. They redecorated the cabin together, transforming it into a home that reflected their new beginning. Emily's laughter echoed through the rooms, a sound that Jack had longed to hear. The cabin, with its cozy charm, became a symbol of their resilience and the love that had brought them back together. Jack found himself rediscovering old passions and interests, inspired by Emily's zest for life. They spent afternoons fishing by the pond, a pastime that had once been a solitary activity for Jack. Now, it was a shared joy, a way to bond and create new memories. Emily's excitement and curiosity breathed new life into Jack's world, filling it with color and light. The pond, once a place of reflection and longing, now teemed with the promise of a bright future. The community rallied around Jack and Emily, welcoming them with open arms. Neighbors who had once seen Jack as a solitary figure now embraced him and his daughter, offering support and friendship. Jack felt a renewed sense of belonging, his heart swelling with gratitude for the kindness of those around him. The community's warmth and generosity reinforced Jack's belief in the power of love and connection. Together, they formed a tapestry of support that would carry them through the challenges ahead. Jack and Emily faced each day with a renewed sense of purpose. They set goals and made plans for the future, each step bringing them closer to the life they envisioned. Jack encouraged Emily to pursue her education and passions, knowing that her dreams were within reach. He took on new projects and responsibilities, driven by the desire to provide a stable and loving environment for his daughter. Their days were filled with hope and determination, a testament to their resilience and love. The journey to rebuild their relationship was not without its challenges. Jack and Emily faced moments of uncertainty and fear, but their love and determination guided them through. They leaned on each other for strength, their bond growing deeper with each obstacle they overcame. Jack's heart swelled with pride for his daughter's resilience and courage. Together, they faced the future with unwavering hope, knowing that their love would see them through. Jack found joy in the simple moments, the everyday acts of love and connection. He cherished the sound of Emily's laughter, the warmth of her embrace, and the sparkle in her eyes. Each day was a gift, a testament to the miracle of their reunion. Jack's heart overflowed with gratitude for the second chance they had been given. He vowed to make the most of every moment, to fill their lives with love and joy. Emily's presence brought a renewed sense of purpose to Jack's life. He felt inspired to give back to the community that had supported them, finding ways to make a positive impact. Jack volunteered his time and skills, building connections and strengthening the bonds that held their community together. Emily joined him, her youthful energy and enthusiasm infectious. Together, they made a difference, their actions a reflection of the love and gratitude that filled their hearts. As the seasons changed, so did Jack and Emily's lives. They celebrated milestones and achievements, each one a testament to their resilience and strength. Jack's heart swelled with pride for his daughter, whose courage and determination had brought them to this point. The future, once uncertain, now held endless possibilities. Jack knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, their love a guiding light in the journey of life. In the quiet moments, Jack reflected on the incredible journey that had brought them to this point. The years of separation and longing had been replaced by a profound sense of peace and fulfillment. Jack's heart swelled with gratitude for the miracle of their reunion and the love that bound them together. He looked at Emily, his heart overflowing with pride and love, knowing that their future was bright. Together, they faced the horizon, ready to embrace the new beginning that awaited them. As our story comes to an end, Jack and Emily stand hand in hand, their hearts filled with hope and love, ready to face whatever the future holds. Their journey from heartbreak to reunion has been a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the unbreakable bonds of family. Jack's unwavering determination and Emily's incredible strength have shown us that even in the darkest times, there is always a glimmer of hope. But their story isn't the only one to capture your heart. Up next, we have a tale that will leave you on the edge of your seat. A millionaire who regains consciousness at her own funeral. The shocking revelations about her husband and his lover will leave you speechless. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to stay updated with the most heartwarming and thrilling tales. And if you'd like to support us in bringing more emotional stories to life, click the link in the pinned comment to buy us a coffee. Your contributions help us continue to share these incredible stories every day. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the next story.